Hey guys, I'm doing a home search for condos in the Tinley Park area. And one thing I noticed is that Zillow does not provide any listings for this area. It may be because the area is banning Zillow from allowing them to show any properties. So I'm using redfin.com, and the first one at the top of the list here is a hot home. And I want to say, first of all, for the Chicagoland area, having an exterior brick versus a frame is a lot better. It's more favorable. Let me just flip through this really quick. That's brick. That's kind of a brick frame, which is okay. That's brick frame. That's okay. This one's frame. So if most of these are brick, I would go with a building that's more brick looking. And this one looks a little bit dated. So another thing, this one here is kind of like a woody looking frame, so I'd avoid that one. And I mean, just general consensus, right? Like, we haven't even looked at these case by case, and since there's only 22 of them, we could probably go through them all. But this one's got more dated architecture, and these look a little bit more stylistic too. This one's a little bit older looking. And since you can get the cream of the crop for basically anything around $100,000 to $200,000 here, another thing I would consider when you look at these is the year build of the house. This one here, we're going to click see more facts, is a 1996 build. The newer, the better in general. Because why? The older the building, the more that it's probably going to have maintenance problems. Now we're going to flip through the pictures. Looks like it's well maintained. You're not going to get this furniture, but it gives you a very good idea of the feeling of this building and how it looks. And the cabinetry in here, and the lighting, the laundry room, the bedroom. Now the closets look a little bit more on the dated side, but that's okay. And the countertop of the bathroom, Formica, I believe. You get a hot tub, not bad. Now I'm wondering what the kitchen countertops are. Hard to say. Maybe a Formica, like kind of a plasticky kind of touch, or a laminate. You're not getting granite countertops, but the stove, microwave that's built in, the refrigerator, and the dishwasher comes with the building, okay? The furniture doesn't. Keep that in mind. The laundry machines are not going to come with the house either, typically, unless they just give it as a freebie. And, okay. Looks okay so far. And I would keep in mind the HOA fees here are $218 per month, and I would combine that with the property taxes, which here it says $269 per month. So if you multiply that by 12, would that be about $3,000 a year? But on a monthly basis, property taxes and HOA, that's $474. I mean, let's say it's almost about $500 right there, right? Which you would not have to pay if you buy a house. You don't have to pay the HOA fees. You would still have to pay property taxes, but you wouldn't have to pay HOA dues. And that's just something to keep in mind as you look at the overall cost per month of buying into something like this condo, which at this point is $1,100 per month. Now keep in mind, with $1,100 per month, what could you buy, or what could you get in the rental market? Because if you're staying, typically what people say, if you're going to stay somewhere for about 2 years, you may just want to rent. And then the break-even point is really kind of going to depend on, your pay down and all that stuff. But, I've read articles before, and the general consensus is if you're going to stay in the same location for 5 to 7 years or longer, you may want to consider purchasing that. And or if you are considering to purchase, and then if you move out later on, you can always rent it out or resell it. Take a look at this 30-year fixed rate, 2.72% interest rates, all-time historic low and all-time of history, which is amazing. And you've got school districts, which you know, are in the middle of the line ballpark figure, 4 out of 10 to 6 out of 10. And a few questions I would ask about this place is, what do the HOA fees include? Does it include typically, you know, they include exterior maintenance and of the property, so any exterior brickwork, any exterior paint work, any exterior roofing, the grass, whether there's 24-hour security, and things of that nature. And how many units, you know, if you could call the HOA association, I would ask how many units are included in this complex. And if there were any type of things that the HOA owns or is responsible for, such as sewage, plumbing, and things like that underneath the ground going through the parking lot before it gets to the main roadway, because if that needs to be serviced, it could, let's say it costs $50,000, $100,000, that would be split between, let's say, the 20-unit condominium complex. And, you know, do some numbers just to get a general idea. If something really bad happens, it may not happen because this is a 1996 build. We're looking at more like, you know, when this building gets older, like 30 plus years old. So, I mean, yeah, this is 24 years old now. So you're kind of getting there 10 years out from now. It's just something to keep in mind, you know, 30, 50, maybe even 50 years out. But it's just something to keep in mind. And I guess that's all I have off the top of my head, what I can think of in terms of looking at this. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know, I do discuss things like getting the property tax off Cook County Info, cookcountypropertyinfo.com, if this is still a Cook County property. I would look and see on that website how the taxes have changed year to year, because taxes have been going up over the last several years, the most recent last 5 years in the Chicagoland, Cook County area. And then, you know, Tinley Park's pretty safe, but if we want to do a spot crime on this property, we can. And what do we have here? 18100 Rita Road. Copy that. Put it in the spot crime for you. Perfectly clear. No crime. Now, I get a little bit skeptical when I see no crime. Keep in mind, with condo complexes, if they have security on the premise, if something were to happen, let's say domestic arguments, and someone calls the security, they usually don't call the police. Now, there may be a policy with the police department as well, that if you do call the police, they may ask you to have it taken care of by the homeowners association local security first if they don't think it's a serious matter. So keep that in mind as well. It's just something to keep in mind. But generally speaking, look at this. Really clean, right? Nothing coming up. So anyway, hope that helps. And until next time, I'll see you guys in another video.